Good morning from Epcot. We are heading in bright and early this morning. Gonna ride Cosmic Rewind again. Good day. Gonna be a good day. Fun fact as we walk into the park, I just went through security and we're about to go through the gates. If you're rope dropping but you don't have early theme park entry, this bathroom over here is the only bathroom you'll have access to. So hit it up before you get into the park. That way you don't have to exit and come back again. A lot of people have been asking this question when I'm waiting for the rope to drop, so just something to be aware of. Ah, isn't she beautiful? All right, let's get in. Looks like there are some new seating areas in here, which is kind of cool. What I'm hoping is that those new benches took the place of benches that maybe they pulled from places like the Seas. Maybe they were just waiting on them. We'll go to the Seas and check it out later. Of course, our first order of business is going on Cosmic Rewind. I love that attraction. I feel like I keep saying this time and time again, like we're just on repeat, but the reality is I really, really love that attraction. So much fun. The music is great. Oh, my hair's all messed up. That's okay, it doesn't matter. So, I'm just thinking about this while I was on there, and so this is why I love Epcot, and this is why I love Walt Disney World, okay? I know there are a lot of people who are like, it's just a theme park. It's just a theme park. What's the big deal? And they wonder if the educational aspects are something that you can incorporate in a fun way, or if it's just like boring and dull. But, okay, right now, we're talking about all of these pictures from the telescope that we just sent up, and it's like, it's right in line with some of what they talk about in Guardians of the Galaxy. It is the coolest thing. Oh. Anyway, I get chills thinking about it, but just like jump points and like speed and black holes and just like space is so fascinating. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna take a drink of water and we're gonna keep walking. So the booths don't open until 11-ish. We went on the one attraction we wanted to. Now we're gonna go for the coffee mug again. There is nothing that has me believe the coffee mug will be here, but we're gonna check. Sadly, no dice today. Well, look around. Nope, nothing. So we weren't able to get the mug that we were looking for, but we got some other stuff, including the pin I wanted for the Food and Wine Festival and some collars for the boys that we've been keeping an eye out for. So, all very exciting. But now we've made our way kind of to here, and we want to end over on Mexico today. So we're gonna head to Canada. I know, very divisive. First, we'll jump into this gift shop real quick. Oh, can't forget to say hi. Hi guys, how you doing? Okay, now we'll go into the gift shop real quick and then make our way around. We're just kind of slowly strolling today. It's really nice. As we continue to make our way around World Showcase, I thought I would take a second and tell you just some of my thoughts on the festivals and the like tone of people first thing in the morning. It seems as though a lot of people here at Epcot are under the impression that the festival starts as soon as the park opens, and that's just not the way it is. Festivals don't really kick off until around 11. So, if your purpose of coming to Epcot is to enjoy only the festival booths, nothing else, you don't really have to get here first thing in the morning. Now, of course, there are plenty of reasons to enjoy the park first thing in the morning, one of them being, Cosmic Rewind, all the attractions. And if that's what you want to do, then rope dropping is great, because as you can see, there is like no one here. It looks like a completely empty park. This is also a great time to get pictures. I'm just gonna say that real quick. Perfect time to get pictures, perfect time to shop. We've made our way to the Refreshment Outpost, and I saw this sign and I wanted to talk about it because there's been a few people talking about Ben's Original, aka Uncle Ben's rice. There have been a few people talking about it, and I wanted to share my 2 cents. As some of you who have frequented festivals here at Disney, or who have visited Disney at all, will know, Disney utilizes sponsors to help pay for various things that they do. Kodak, Coca-Cola, Uncle Ben's rice, or Ben's Original. And so there are a lot of people who are like, oh, I can't believe that they're using instant rice here in World Showcase for these authentic dishes. And they've been kind of grumbling about that because when they think of Ben's Original, aka Uncle Ben's rice, they're like, well, it's instant rice, it's microwave rice, and that's not real, so it can't be authentic dishes. And I want to take a second to just talk briefly about that. So first and foremost, Uncle Ben's Original is known as parboiled rice, which is, or that's what they're most known for, is their parboiled rice, which is partially cooked rice that you can finish off in the microwave. It usually comes in little bags. That's what we're most familiar with when we think about Ben's Original or Uncle Ben's rice. But there are different types of instant rice. You might call that instant rice, but there are different kinds. Another popular one is minute rice, which is just dehydrated. It's cooked and dehydrated rice that needs to be rehydrated. And the reality is that that's not like great when it comes to consistency. Parboiled rice is much better when it comes to consistency. But anyway, this is like a lot of discussion that's neither here nor there, because the reality of the situation is, even though those are the products that we're most familiar with, Ben's Original and Uncle Ben's rice isn't just about instant or quick microwavable rice. They actually have regular rice too. They sell regular, old, in the bag, dry, you have to cook it in a rice cooker or a pot or whatever rice. Like they also sell that. It's just that that's not what they're known for. So I take issue with saying that Uncle Ben's or Ben's Original isn't authentic, and it's why it shouldn't be used here. It's rice. Just because you don't buy the bagged rice doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. But second point I want to share, based as someone who lived in Japan, someplace known for rice. The idea of instant, quick, microwavable rice is not inauthentic. I know there are some people out there who have really strong feelings about how rice is prepared in other countries. And there are some people who, you know, you've seen travel shows, whatever the case may be, and you see them cooking rice in these big vats with wooden tops, or whatever the case may be for wherever it is that you're watching a travel show on. But that's not the only way to cook rice. One thing I think is important to keep in mind is that we're more similar than you think. And we do a really good job, especially when it comes to cultural things, at looking at the extremes of those cultural things and ignoring the realities. The realities are people in other countries cook things the easy way too, from time to time. They don't exclusively cook like over an open flame in a copper pot with, you know, some type of special lid or whatever. Like, it's not always like that. There are people who do that, but there are people who take their parboiled rice and put in the microwave too. Saw that when we were living in Japan. We lived there for 10 years, for those of you who haven't heard me say that before. So I got a little bit of experience with this, and you know, it's not uncommon. It might not be everyone's choice. There are better, more economical ways to make rice, usually in a rice cooker. But I don't know what I'm getting at here, because I know I'm ranting for a little bit. What I'm getting at here is, just because it's a certain brand of rice that you know for being, you know, convenient and in little packets that you can microwave, doesn't mean that it's any less worthy of being a sponsor or being served in authentic dishes. Just one girl's opinion. So the next order of business is to get some food, and we have quite some time before we can. I was hoping that I could get something off the fromage montage, is that what it's called? Yes. Which is basically a series of dishes you can purchase and then get little stamps, and at the end you get a completer, like a completer surprise, which I don't know what it is, but it comes in a really cute little cup. There are two, see they're tabbed out. There are two that I was considering getting today. One of them is the paneer, again, which is here by China. And I don't think we're going to end up getting that one today, only because it's so long between now and the time that that booth is going to open. We're hanging out right now, having some water. I have my new water bottle that I really love, by the way. But I don't plan on hanging out here for another hour or so. So I think we're going to move on and head on over to this other place where they have these pork rinds that Russ has absolutely no interest in, so I'm gonna grab them. The Swanky Saucy Swine. This is near Disney Traders. This is about where we started today. It's crispy barbecued pork rinds with pimento cheese. That sounds good to me. I know it's not gonna sound good to everybody, but I'll be honest with you, I don't know if either of these are going to actually happen. Mainly because I don't know if we're going to be here that long today. I mean, I don't have a problem hanging around, but I also feel like, I don't know. I just want to relax. I want to chill. I want to have a chill day, and I don't know that we can necessarily achieve that if we're trying to hang around forever just to get some pork rinds. So we'll see. It's something that we may have to come back and get some other day, which is totally fine because we have all the time in the world to do it. But for now, I'm gonna have some more water. Oh, let me show you real quick, because I did just readjust my bag. Let me show you what I got. Remember the other day I said that I wanted this pin for food and wine? Well, I found it. Here it is. It says, let's see how this day pans out. And then I got the boys these collars. They are part of the Pride collection, and I think they are the coolest collars. They needed some new ones anyway, so see, they're all rainbow. And they got this really cute little rainbow on it. They've got some Mickey Mouses, and these were $34.99 each. So I want to say that they're not cheap, but here's the thing. It comes with a collar and a lead, which, I mean, that's about $15 each by the time I got my discount on them, so can't really complain. I know there are cheaper options out there, but I like these. So anyway, let's have some more water and then let's keep moving. Also, before we start moving, I just want to make a note that while I stand by what I said, that you don't have to come here first thing in the morning if you're planning on doing the EPCOT food booths, I do think that it's worth coming here a little bit early. You know, be here before the booths open so you can start making your way to the booth you want to enjoy without having to deal with the crowds. That's just my personal opinion, but you know, to each their own. Because it is now, what time is it now? It's currently around 10, and things are picking up. Our last stop for today is going to be the Seas with Nemo and Friends. I want to go check out the bench situation since we have new benches over by the Creation Causeway. That's what we call it. 5-minute standby for the attraction, so let's go ride it.
Oh, Science Street, there's so much to know. Climb aboard, explorers, it's time to go.
So overall, it looks like a negative. We do not have any additional benches in here now, or any benches at all, for that matter. So I don't know where they went. I wonder. You can kind of see over here too, there aren't any additional benches, and sadly the tiny escalator is closed. So we are heading back to the car now. I will say it's about 20 minutes past 10, and there are really long lines to get into the park right now. Long in my opinion, like rope drop long. I feel like advice and information like this is always kind of difficult to give. Specifically the advice part, because information is what it is. I've said this before, and I'll say it probably 1,000 times more. You know, facts are facts. So there's that. But when it comes to like making the decision of how you want to do the parks, there's no one size fits all way. There are some people who, you know, they're gonna want to be here early, take advantage of that quiet time to walk around, take photos, just enjoy the parks. There are gonna be people who don't mind standing in that line so that they don't have to be here for a few hours, and you know, they can just go eat what they want to eat and leave, or start their day closer to 11 or whatever the case may be. So it's really a personal preference thing. And I think that when you're planning your Disney vacation, one thing you don't hear enough people saying is that it's a personal preference thing. And even though there's no like malicious intent, there are people who will give pieces of information that just aren't the best pieces of information for you, or might even be terrible pieces of information for you. So take everything with a grain of salt. Take the time to listen to everybody and hear what everybody has to say. Don't just listen to one person either. It's another pet peeve of mine. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that you guys hang out with me. I love that you're here. We chat all the time. But I'm just one person. Russ is another person. Our opinions differ from time to time. There are so many people on the internet giving different advice. Check around and see what works best for you. But anyway, that's a discussion that we'll probably dive deeper into some other day. For now, we made it back to the car. When I got here, I tried to use the new feature that's in the My Disney Experience app that helps you find your parking spot, which I think is fantastic. There are two ways that this feature is advertised to work. You can enter your parking spot manually, or apparently it can just tell you where you are. Now today we're in EPCOT, Imagine 53. We did not, I think it's 53. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We weren't able to connect through the tool. So when I opened it up, I said, record my space. It said, hey, you're too far away. We can't do that for you. Would you like to enter it manually? And so I went ahead and entered it manually, which I think is great. Fantastic. I love that it's right in the My Disney Experience app. Personally, I wish that it worked better, but of course it just launched. So will it work better in the future? Hopefully. And if I'm being honest, as soon as we're done with this conversation, I'm going to go ahead and try one more time just to see if maybe it will work this time. I don't know, but we'll give it a go once more. I'll show you how to use it. Stay tuned for that. But for now, I think we're gonna call it good. It was a really good day. We had some fun. We talked about some different things, and we went on Cosmic Rewind, which is awesome. I had a good time, and I hope you had a good time joining me. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button. I know we had a couple days where we didn't chat, but that happens from time to time. We're doing this pretty regularly though, so be sure to hit that subscribe button, like this if you liked what we did here today, and be sure to join us for more conversations. There's a lot of fun stuff going on, and I look forward to sharing it with you guys. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!